Now let's go ahead to optimize our Terraform infra pipeline, making use of the Slack pipeline code which we've done for Slack integration. So if you come to our Slack pipeline, again, if you're on our dashboard, you come to the Slack pipeline and you click on configure. You basically have the configuration which we have for the given our Slack integration with Jenkins. So in this pipeline, we basically created a function. We created a function, the dev function for color map, and we're able to integrate this function to make use of this post action. So what we are going to do to make our pipeline use the same configuration for our Terraform infra pipeline, we are just going to duplicate this tab. So I'll click on duplicate here. When I click on duplicate, I'll come to dashboard on this other tab. So this tab will have our Slack pipeline. If you look here, you see our Slack pipeline. And then on this other tab, we are going to be making some modifications on our Terraform infra pipeline. So I'll click on dashboard in the second tab here. When I click on dashboard, I'll now open the Terraform infra pipeline. I'll open the Terraform infra pipeline. So I'll click here on the Terraform infra pipeline, Wonder Prep Terraform infra pipeline. Once I'm on the Terraform infra pipeline, we previously did a build where we're able to do some deployment with our Terraform infra pipeline. If I click on the drop down here and I click on console output, I should be able to see all the configurations that we actually executed with the Terraform pipeline. So it's basically loading all the various stages. We had access to our AWS credential, we're able to apply, and then we're able to destroy. If you come back here to Terraform pipeline, you can click here on the Terraform pipeline, and then we can click on configure. So if you go to the configuration, you'll see the various code. So we'll set the pipeline as a parameterized pipeline. Say this project is parameterized, and then we had an action where we either apply or destroy for each time we are performing a build. And then this was the basic pipeline. So we had access to our environment variables. We had the various stages, the stage for Git checkout, the stage for Terraform init, the stage for Terraform plan, and the stage for Terraform apply or destroy, depending on the use case, because we're making use of this action. So basically in this pipeline, we are just going to be adding the functions to enable Slack integration for this pipeline. So for us to do that, where we have the pipeline here, I'll hit enter 3 times. I'll hit 1, 2, and then I'll come back to our Slack pipeline. Since we have done this code, tested, and it works, I'll just copy this from line 4 to line 1. I'll right click, copy. Again, I'll select the code from line 4 to line 1, right click, copy. I'll come to my Terraform infra pipeline. On line 1, I'll right click and paste. So when I right click and paste, I've created a function for color map because we want to integrate Slack to this pipeline. Now when I do that, I'll scroll down, I'll select stages here, so I'm sure I know where my stages begin and where the stages end. So if you see on my own pipeline, my stages begin on line 18 and the stages end on line 48. So if I'm to integrate post notifications, I'll be integrating post notifications after line 48. So after line 48, I'll hit enter here, maybe twice to have enough space, and I'll scroll up. I'll come back to my Slack pipeline. On my Slack pipeline, I'll scroll down, and then I'll copy the post notification. Basically, we are saying that with the post notification, we can send some form of message to our Slack channel with the use of post actions. So I'll right click, I'll copy this post action. I'm copying it from my Slack pipeline. I'll come on the other tab, which is my Wonder Prep Terraform infra pipeline, and then I'll paste it under the post action. So I'll paste it here. I'll paste it on the post action. I'll right click and paste. Now I can delete this paste. So basically what this signifies is we have our pipeline. The pipeline will install these tools. The pipeline will make use of these environment variables for access key and secret access key. And then the pipeline will execute these various stages. The first stage, Git checkout, after you do Terraform init, after you do Terraform plan, after you do Terraform, well, depending on if you want to do an apply or destroy, you do Terraform apply or destroy. And after performing all of these, it will then do a post action, and this post action basically will take into account the current build. So if it's the first build or second build or third build, you take into account the current build, and then if the build is successful or is a failure, you will let us know if the build was a success or a failure. And based on this, we should be getting a notification in our Slack channel if there was a successful build or not. So once you have this configuration saved in your Wonder Prep Terraform pipeline, we just need to apply. So I'll apply. Once I apply, I'll see that the changes have been saved. I can equally click on save. Now when I click on save, we are now going to build a pipeline. Basically, we've added our Slack code into our Terraform infra pipeline code. So we are going to build a pipeline. We click here, build with parameters. We click on build with parameters. And when you click on build with parameters, because we set up two conditions, either to apply or to destroy, we are going to use the same condition. So I'll select apply here. You can either have apply or destroy. So I'll select apply. And once I select apply, I'll click on build, and this should start a new build. So it's starting a new build. You see build in progress. We can come here. We can open console output to see all the build steps. Basically, the console output is loading. It has already performed the git clone. Now we have it's initializing. It has done Terraform in it. Now it's running the plan, Terraform plan. So plan completed. If you see here, we have Terraform plan. It's showing all the two resources that it's going to create. And then now, because we selected approve, it's doing the Terraform apply. So Terraform will perform the following actions. If you scroll down, you see it's creating two resources. Terraform is creating two resources, Wonder Prep app server and Wonder Prep web server. Both instances are being created. If you come back here to our console, you can refresh this tab. We can refresh our EC2 console tab, and we should be able to see the new resources that are being created. We should see, like now we see if you look on our new tab, we have the Wonder Prep app server that has been created. So let me take this down. So you have the Wonder Prep app server that has been created and the Wonder Prep web server. So these two servers have been created and they're actually initializing. If you come back to our Wonder Prep Terraform infra, you see that the pipeline was successful. Now, because the pipeline was successful, if you come to our Slack, you'll see previously we had build started Slack pipeline because we're integrating with the Slack pipeline. But because we integrated this with the Terraform pipeline, it gives us the information of the Terraform pipeline. And because we had success, the color of our pipeline shows that we had success. Basically, we've integrated on our first instance the Slack pipeline, and on our second instance the Terraform pipeline. So if you come back here, you're able to see that okay, the two resources have been created, 2 added, 0 changed, 0 destroyed. So we get that notification directly on Slack without even coming to our console output. And if you come back to our pipeline, let's just give some time for the resources. So we have the two instances. The two instances have been initialized. If I refresh this, I will see my two instances up and running, Wonder Prep app server and Wonder Prep web server. Let's give it some time again for the instances to completely refresh. Now we have the two instances in a state where they've been initialized. So for us to make progress, we'll come back to our Terraform infra pipeline. We'll build a pipeline with parameters, and this time we are just going to perform Terraform destroy because we've already created resources. Now we are just going to be doing Terraform destroy. So for us to do Terraform destroy, we click here and we select destroy. So first we clicked on apply. Now we just select destroy. So I'll select destroy, and when I select destroy, I'll click on build now. So without us even coming to our console output, we'll see that the pipeline has been initialized. The pipeline is currently running today, it's in progress. So we can just stay without even having access to our console. If we stay here on the Slack side, we'll be able to get notification if the pipeline was a success or if there was a failure. So we can wait here for a few minutes for the pipeline to complete all the pipeline steps, and we'll know if the pipeline was successful or if there was a failure. So we can give it a few minutes to run. Here we have the pipeline is currently running. We can come to AWS console as well to check. So we have previously the two instances were up and running. So let's refresh and see the status on our AWS console. You see it's currently shutting down the instances because we've done Terraform destroy. So Terraform destroy basically will shut down the instances. So it's shutting down the instances. If you refresh, you should see the instances being shut down as we've already seen previously. So the app server has been terminated. The web server is currently shutting down. So let's refresh. If we refresh here, we'll see that the second instance is still shutting down. But if you come to our Slack, we can still wait for the pipeline steps to complete. Once the pipeline steps are complete, we can know directly from our Slack if the build process is complete. So you see the build process has been completed. Terraform destroy has successfully destroyed both instances. So in both cases, we have done Terraform apply. We have gotten the update here on our Slack, and we've done Terraform destroy. We equally gotten the updates here on our Slack. So basically, with this our pipeline, if you refresh again here, you will see that both instances have been terminated. So this is the final code. If you come here, you can click on configure, and when you click on configure, you should be able to see all the final code with respect to our Terraform app pipeline. So you click on configure, you should see it's loading. Basically, this is all the Terraform code with respect to our app pipeline. So in our next module, we'll basically be integrating webhooks to facilitate continuous integration and continuous deployment using a Jenkins file.